Greetings, gamers! I'm Shootkabow. Pokemon Heart Gold with only one Volbeat was a tough but fun challenge, but now it's time for something that I'm 90% sure isn't even possible. Today's the day I figure out if I can beat Pokemon Platinum with a team of only one Hoppip. Here are the stats we're looking at. Well, it's technically better than Pawmi. We're well-rounded, but when our base stat total is only 250, that doesn't mean much. We have abysmal everything. Everything is terrible, that's it. We start out with no attacking moves, only having Splash and Synthesis, and we don't get anything useful until Tackle at level 10. At the very least, Professor Rowan gives us the Return TM right after we get the Pokedex, which can be taught to every Pokemon, so we at least won't be grinding with Struggle forever. Looking farther down the line, we don't have terrible moves by level up, even getting some nice status moves, but using them is going to be another story due to our awful attacking stats. We don't get a whole lot from TMs, but one move that caught my eye was Sword Stance, which could be huge. I hope we can actually get that TM before the post-game, since it could make some fights actually possible with the right loadout. Let's go over the rules. In battle, I'm only allowed to use Hoppip. I need other Pokemon to use required HMs, but none of them can be used in battle. I also cannot use any items in battle, besides Pokeballs. Only held items and items outside of battle can be used. With all that out of the way, make sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more. Let's do this. To start off, I used the Universal Pokemon Randomizer to replace Turtwig with Hoppip. I replaced Turtwig to give Berry Infernape, the hardest for us to fight, though I may regret that later. At least it's a fighting type, which will let us hit it with Bounce. After losing to Berry in our first fight, since we have no way of dealing damage to him, I take a look at our stats. Our Hoppip has the Gentle nature, boosting our special defense and lowering our defense. We have the ability Chlorophyll, doubling our speed and sun, though that probably won't come in handy since Sunny Day is a big investment of a moveslot. We head to Sandgem Town and name our Hoppip. I name it Silly Car because Hoppip is the silliest car of them all. We also get the Return TM, which I immediately use. It won't be very strong for a while since its base power is based on friendship, but it'll only get stronger as the run continues. We're on the way to Jubilife City now, and I want to show you these fights. We have Synthesis, and even then we're only barely outlasting some of the Pokemon we're going up against. We're just doing such pitiful damage that they can wear us down so much faster than we can hurt them. We even almost ran out of PP by the time we made it to Jubilife. While we're here, we might as well try the rival fight, though I'm not confident. We start off by lowering Starly's defense with Tail Whip, but it's hitting us with Growls. I decide to take it out as fast as I can, but we're in rough shape before Chimchar comes out, and we end up just getting out-damaged and taken out despite our healing. I'll clear out the trainers in the route above and grind before coming back. We come back at level 12 now that we've learned Poison Powder. Starly gets off 3 Growls on us, taking our attack, but we're able to take it out quickly enough to go into Chimchar at almost full health. We poison it right away as it starts going for Weird, and we get a very lucky crit which leaves it at half health. We're able to wear it down since we outspeed it and are able to tank its attacks even with our lowered defense, winning the fight. Well, our next stop is Oreburgh, where Roark and his rock Pokemon wait for us. We do get Bullet Seed at level 19, but I don't think we'll reach that by the time we're at the gym, even if we fight every trainer along the way. Unfortunately, Roark is a little tougher than other rock gym leaders. Usually rock gyms are battles of attrition if you don't have a super effective attack, and with Synthesis, we'd have a good chance against a leader like Brock. Unfortunately, Roark has a very powerful Cranidos that could most definitely outdamage us, so we'll for sure need Bullet Seed to even stand a chance at winning. Just to show you how badly we need Bullet Seed, here's the fight at level 16. It's even worse than I thought, since Geodude has Rock Throw and we can't out-heal that, so we just go down faster than we otherwise would. Our first real attempt at level 19 goes differently though. We start off by one-shotting Geodude with a 3-hit Bullet Seed. The Onix after gets nailed with a lucky 5-hit, firing back with a pitiful Rock Throw coming off Onix's terrible attack. 3 more hits of Bullet Seed took out Onix, which was also pretty lucky. Last is the terrifying Cranidos, which could undoubtedly OHKO us with Rock Throw, so we put it to sleep with a Sleep Powder immediately. Our first Bullet Seed only gets 2 hits, but luckily Cranidos stays asleep, keeping us alive for another turn and letting us finish him off with a 3-hit Bullet Seed, which crit on the 3rd hit to score a crucial extra bit of damage to win us the fight. That was a pretty lucky victory, but we'll need even more luck for some of the upcoming boss fights. Team Galactic has lots of poison types, which threaten big damage against us, and Gardenia's Roserade is also scary. Silly Car has been doing well against the weaker Pokemon in the early game, but we might need to get a little more serious if we're going to pull through in the near future. Our first attempt at Commander Mars goes terribly, since I forget that our Zubat has Toxic and lose too much health because of it. On our next attempt, I put Zubat to sleep. We barely missed the 3-shot with Return, but luckily we got a long sleep on it and didn't get hit. Perugly after fakes us out and uses Feint Attack before we're able to put it to sleep. We use the Leech Seed that we just learned and heal up before trying to get the jump on it with Sleep Powder, but Perugly sleeps for 4 turns, which I forgot was even possible in this generation. I keep using Sleep Powder after it wakes up, but my stupid Hoppip, who is terrible at everything, missed Sleep Powder 3 times in a row and got crit and taken out. After an annoying amount of attempts at a very winnable fight, we finally get an attempt where Zubat doesn't hurt us too badly and Perugly doesn't wake up in time to take us out, letting us finally move on. That was infuriating and shows just how much RNG can screw us over in this run. We have to rely a lot on Sleep Powder right now, but since we just horn Leech Seed, we should be able to stall a lot better and have insurance for it when it misses. Return is also getting noticeably stronger, so it should hopefully be pretty good once we get to Gardenia. At the end of Eterna Forest, we get the Soothe Bell, which I immediately give to Hoppip to help Return increase in power much faster. I get to Eterna City, and what better time to attempt the Grass Gym? She leads with a Turtwig, and since this is before grass types became immune to powder moves, I attempt to use Sleep Powder. Unfortunately, it misses, letting Turtwig get up a Reflect. We put it to sleep and start wearing it down, notably without the help of Leech Seed, since I think grass types are still immune to it even in the early gens. Turtwig goes down and Gardenia goes right to Roserade. Poison Sting is doing decent damage, but we luckily don't get poisoned and put her to sleep. She switches out though, activating her natural cure ability as she brings in Cherim. Cherim is taking little damage from Return, despite Reflect no longer being active, but luckily it does barely anything to us with Magical Leaf. The tough thing here is that between her natural bulk and one potion, we're losing lots of PP on Return. We managed to take down Cherim without Safeguard being active, but we're really low on returns. We start off against Roserade by trading misses, but she hits us with Sunspell before we're able to put her to sleep. This is a blessing in disguise though, since it means we can't get poisoned and be forced to burn more Synthesis PP. We put her to sleep and start to wear her down, and Return is looking like a 4-shot before the Citrus Berry adds another hit. Luckily though, we have enough Return PP left to finish her off, and between Strategic Healing and Poison Sting's low base power, we're able to win a slow but steady second gym badge. Let's go from here straight to Commander Jupiter. Her lead Zubat gets put to sleep immediately, and it's a damage range to 2-shot with Return. However, it lives the second hit on a Sliver, letting us wake up and hit us with a wing attack. We're at half health as Skuntank comes out, and so many things could go wrong here. We get outsped and hit with a Night Slash, and I thought we were doomed, but we ended up living on 2 HP and landing our Sleep Powder to put Skuntank to sleep. We heal up and hit a Leech Seed, but we're still at low HP. Skuntank wakes up and starts hitting us more, and my biggest fear is getting crit, since that would one-shot us from anywhere less than full. Luckily, we're able to heal to a safe enough amount of health where we can put Skuntank to sleep once again, letting us whittle it down with the combination of Return and Leech Seed to finally finish it off. That was a tense couple battles. We're getting into a part of the game where it really opens up soon, but Fantina is gonna be a real issue. We'll probably end up finally having to ditch Return, since our 3 status moves are incredibly valuable and we can't hit Ghost, but we might end up having to stall with Leech Seed and Sleep Powder enough to pull through. I'll definitely try that before doing anything drastic, but Hoppip is so terrible that needing all of these really good status moves is seriously cramping our moveset. We basically only have room for one attacking move at a time, which is annoying in a game without permanent TMs. Soon enough though, we might end up being able to go in a more offensive direction with Bounce, although that will cause our PP situation to get even worse. Here's our first attempt at Fantina. We start off by chipping away at Duskull, who stays asleep for quite a while but isn't taking much damage from Leech Seed. Fantina uses a potion to heal it up, letting it get off a Will-O-Wisp on us, which pretty much dooms us. Haunter does big damage, and we barely aren't out-healing the burn chip damage with Leech Seed, and by the time Haunter goes down, we're low enough on health and PP to where we likely wouldn't even be able to beat down Gizmagius. Okay, I'll bite the bullet, no pun intended, and replace Return with Bullet Seed. On our first real attempt, Duskull burns us immediately, which causes us to go down to a bad misclick against Haunter. I'll keep trying until I get an attempt where we don't get burned. Alright, we make it to Haunter without getting burned, and we get a good start. We have some new issues. Haunter has Hypnosis, which it couldn't use before since we were burned, but now we can finally get a taste of our own medicine. Apart from that, Haunter isn't very hard, but we immediately get lucked out by Gizmagius' Confuse Ray and can't do anything as we go down. After a few infuriating attempts, we're finally able to put an annoying win on this awful Pokemon. Next up is the Berry fight. Staravia is up first, so our attack is down the entire fight by Intimidate. We start by putting it to sleep and Leech Seeding it, but we're doing pitiful damage without Return. We're able to get it to red health before it wakes up and hits us with Endeavor, bringing us down to only 16 HP as we go into Monferno. Luckily, he gets us sped and put to sleep, and a long sleep cycle lets us heal and start doing damage. Unfortunately, he wakes up, hits a Flame Wheel, and burns us, dooming us for the rest of the fight, even if our next Sleep Powder hadn't missed. This might still be possible with better luck. We manage to get an attempt where Staravia doesn't hit us, and we get good enough sleep luck to beat down Monferno. The real annoying part of this fight is Roselia, who we put to sleep after she paralyzes us. Roselia also has natural cure though, and he switches to Weasel on our Bullet Seed. He switches out again after taking lots of damage, and we put Roselia to sleep again, causing him to switch back to Weasel. We knock it out easily and start the War of Attrition. I've never actually seen the AI switch before to make use of natural cure. It's really interesting seeing them think that through. We managed to win the long battle, but we ran out of Synthesis PP along the way. With worse luck, that could have gone very badly. Hey, while we're walking, let me just remind you guys to subscribe. I really want to get back into doing YouTube content, and it'd help out a ton if you could see the future videos I release easier. Also, make sure to leave a like on this video and share it around. I haven't done a Pokemon challenge in a while, but think of this run as a readjustment to using terrible garbage Pokemon. We end up getting Giga Drain, which is big since it's a powerful special grass attack. We also find another Return TM in the Lost Tower, so it might finally be time to replace one of our moves. I decided to bite the bullet and replace Synthesis, since we haven't really been using it as much recently. We can beat grass types down with Return, and Leech Seed and Giga Drain can heal us enough otherwise. We make it to Veilstone City, and after clearing out the trainers nearby, I decide to try my luck at the fighting gym. Metatite is a 2-shot, but we get hit by Rock Tomb, which drops our speed. Luckily, we can still outspeed Machoke after, but missing 2 sleep powders does us in. With better luck on the next attempt, we get past Metatite without taking damage and put Machoke to sleep. With a combination of chip damage and a long sleep, Machoke goes down, and we move on to Lucario while still having full health. Lucario outspeeds us even without the Rock Tombs, but we don't even take half our health from Metal Claw and put it to sleep. Leech Seed and Giga Drain aren't doing much damage, but we get another lucky sleep cycle, letting me guess when Lucario is going to wake up and put it back to sleep as soon as it wakes up. Due to a partially lucky cycle, the combination of Leech Seed and Giga Drain takes out Lucario before Maylene can heal, winning us a pretty easy fight. Well, there's not much else to do now but to travel down to Pastoria and take on the Water Gym. This one should be a lot easier thanks to our type advantage. I'm fighting every trainer I come across, which might seem odd considering how well we're doing now, but we're definitely gonna need all the help we can get in the late game and Pokemon League. Sleep is incredibly broken, but it can only carry us so far, and I want to minimize the amount of grinding I have to do as much as possible. First is the fight against Barry, though. Staravia is out first, so our attack is down the entire fight. Luckily, a 3-turn sleep gives us all we need to move on to Monsterferno without damage, but that doesn't help as we get outsped. Flame Wheel is doing monstrous damage, and 1 sleep powder miss is the end of our run. We could maybe win with better luck, but I'll clear out the route up ahead first and come back to see if we can outspeed Monferno. We come back at level 49, and we can now outspeed Monferno. We stun lock it with Sleep, and luckily the Roselia after is a 2-shot. Poison Sting doesn't do much as we move on to Buizel, who's a 1-shot. Time for Wake. Gyarados is out first, so Intimidate lowers our attack for the entire fight. We miss our first Sleep powder, and Bite nails us for good damage, but we're able to sleep him and set up a Leech Seed. A turn 1 Wake Up into a crit Bite almost takes us out, but we're able to put Gyarados back to sleep. A combination of Giga Drain and Leech Seed lets us take out Gyarados at full health, but we might be doomed anyway. Floatzel outspeeds us and goes for an Ice Fang, but miraculously gets the 5% miss chance. Unfortunately, Sillycar hits a generational fumble and misses the Sleep Powder that could have walked us into an early win, causing us to just get outsped in one shot by the quad effective move. Yeah, it might finally be time to grind. The grind here is slow but manageable. Floatzel is an incredibly fast Pokemon though, so we're probably going to need to be level 60 or higher to outspeed it and put it to sleep. The fastest a no EV Floatzel can be at level 37 is 101, and we're only sitting at 77 right now, so we've got a long way to go. Luckily, there's no way as Floatzel has 31 IVs, so the high 90s should be enough for us. And here I was thinking one of the only gyms where we have a type advantage was going to be easy. Oh man, how are we even going to beat Candace? We might be able to live Sneasel's Ice Shard at a high enough level, I don't know. We make it back to the fight at level 57, on the border of getting to level 58. We manage to beat down Gyarados and level up, landing at 96 speed. This is enough to let us outspeed Floatzel, but we just miss again and go down. We try again, but things go very differently. First off, the Floatzel actually outspeeds us, meaning that 96 speed is exactly what it has, and we're speed time. But we also live the Ice Fang on 16 HP. We of course miss Sleep Powder once more since I'm using the worst Hoppip of all time. Sillycar, you are terrible and I hope you die. But at level 59, this will become very doable. We come back and are finally able to outspeed Floatzel, and Giga Drain straight up OHKOing Floatzel told me that we didn't even need the Sleep Powder. But at the very least, we OHKO the last couple mons to finally move on from a surprisingly tough fight. Celestic Town is our next stop, where we finally fight Cyrus for the first time. Sneasel has the potential to be scary, but we luckily put it to sleep and reliably 2-shot it. Golbat is up next, and we miss 2 Sleep Powders, but luckily we don't get poisoned or confused, letting us put Golbat to sleep and take it out with a crit return. Last is Murkrow though, and this could be tough. It has Insomnia, meaning our best strategy doesn't work at all here, and on top of that it uses Drill Peck to do insane amounts of damage. We end up going down, partially due to the wasted turn, but also because the Citrus Berry he holds gets him out of 2-shot range. We might need to gain a few levels for this. While we were grinding, I decided to bite the bullet and replace Return with the only slightly weaker Aerial Ace. Now we can hit more things super effectively, but it won't help versus Cyrus. Grinding is really slow by this point. I'm grinding on Route 212 outside of Pastoria, making it better than my old grinding spot that I used in the Unknown video. I'm thinking if I can't beat the fight reliably at level 70, I'll just fish for crits until I get one, because this is just really annoying. How am I going to deal with his Hodgecrow in the Distortion World? We're getting to very high levels a lot earlier than I would like. At level 70, Sneasel still isn't an OHKO, but it sleeps long enough to go down anyway. Golbat was only awake long enough to miss an Air Cutter, so it's on to Murkrow. We hit a Leech Seed right off the bat, and Drill Peck does just about half of our health. Leech Seed heals us up enough to survive the follow-up, and our Aerial Ace gets into KO range after the Citrus Berry healing, letting us snag the win with a scarily small amount of HP left. So we're already level 70. Great. Ice-type moves seem to be becoming a much bigger issue as we progress, and the Steel Gym is coming up next. 2 types that we struggle with are big bosses in the near future, which really sucks. But if we manage to reach the Pokemon League, we should do well enough there to due to our good matchups. Next up though, we have the Berry fight in Canwave City. His newly evolved Staraptor is out first, so as usual, our attack is down the entire fight. We use our routine Sleep Powder and Leech Seed, and then use 2 Aerial Aces to take out Staraptor, getting a lucky Sleep Cycle. Great start, but next up is Infernape. Luckily, we managed to outspeed it and put it to sleep, and Aerial Ace is a 2-shot, as it fails to wake up as well. The rest of his team goes down easily, as Roserade and Heracross go down to 1 Aerial Ace each despite our lowered attack, and Floatzel falls to Giga Drain. That was really good, considering how weak Hoppip is. Aerial Ace is already paying off, as having super effective coverage against more things is really nice, and being so high leveled means that we can be relatively strong. It's probably not going to help us in our next fight though, so let's get right into the Steel Gym leader Byron. He leads with a Magneton, which we Sleep Seed instantly. Giga Drain isn't doing much, but we only get hit with 1 Thunderbolt before taking it out. Big Bast hits the field, and I get a little cocky and go for a Giga Drain that does a pitiful amount of damage. He went for a Stone Edge that almost certainly would have obliterated us, but he luckily missed. I used Sleep Powder on the next turn, and I thought we were doomed when we missed, but he just went for Iron Defense. We put him to sleep right after, and we start to chip him down, but he eventually wakes up and nails us with a Stone Edge. However, we only took about half and finished him off. Last is Steelix, who I'm pretty confident is a 2-shot, but I decided to be careful and set up Sleep Seed. Giga Drain does big damage, but he wakes up and nails us with a huge Ice Fang. Luckily, it doesn't knock us out, and we're able to easily finish him off after he full restores. What a roller coaster. We've got lots of travel before the Ice Gym, and I'll be fighting every trainer I possibly can before then. I'm sure we can live Sneasel's Ice Shard, but it'll put us at very low health immediately. We can probably win with enough luck, but Frostlass is going to make our RNG-based game plan even tougher to execute. Probably going to be doable, but very annoying. I make it to Candace at level 76. Sneasel immediately takes out most of our HP with Ice Shard, but lucky Sleep Cycles mean we're able to take it out on full health. I expect a Bulbasaur next, but for some reason she goes right to Frostlass. We put her to sleep and land our second Leech Seed, but if she wakes up we're probably dead. We beat her down to low health, but she woke up. I thought we were doomed when she went for Blizzard, but it missed, letting Leech Seed knock her out. Unfortunately, we lost to a Bulbasaur off a Sleep Powder miss, but this fight is super doable with better luck. First though, I decided to go to the Veilstone Game Corner and spend 20k to buy a Wide Lens. While not infallible, this is going to make our strategy much more consistent. It makes Sleep Seed almost 100% accurate, and bumps Sleep Powder up to a great 82. We make it back to a Bulbasaur with the help of this new item, and Sleep Powder lands, letting us take it out with 2 Aerial Aces and a bit of luck. The game cuts us some slack, and Piloswine goes down the same way, winning us the most dreaded fight of the run so far. Next up is the conclusion of the Galactic storyline, which will get us lots of experience as we head up to Cyrus, the real boss of this part of the game. Looking at his team, there are a few problematic aspects. Houndoom is his lead, so the luck involved in taking it down is pretty much cancelled out. Honchkrow is the biggest issue though, since it has super effective stab on us and is immune to Sleep Powder. The rest of his team has super effective moves on us as well, including a Crobat and a Weavile that could both outspeed us. This is going to be an incredibly tough fight. First though, we actually have to fight Cyrus inside of the Galactic base. I always forget about this fight. He leads with a Sneasel, which we Sleep Seed down with enough luck. His follow-up Crobat actually outspeeds us, but it just misses Supersonic as we land a Sleep Powder and luck it down. Unfortunately, his follow-up Honchkrow outgoes us with a crit Drill Peck right off the bat. There's no way we were winning without crazy luck anyway, so I'll get some levels and come back. On level 85, Sneasel was a 2-shot with Giga Drain after we put it to sleep. Crobat still outspeeds us, but we're lucky enough that it doesn't wake up after we put it to sleep, getting us back to almost full health with Leech Seed. However, Honchkrow is over half our health with Drill Peck, and we can't even get a 2-shot through his Citrus Berry. We're definitely going to need to be level 100 for the Distortion World fight. At level 90, we make it back to Honchkrow with ease. Now equipped with our own Citrus Berry, we're able to bring him down to a pretty low amount of health before his Citrus Berry procs. Unfortunately, he landed another crit Drill Peck, taking us out before he could do anything. But this fight might be possible by now. On our next attempt, I thought we were doomed as Honchkrow landed at about half after our first Aerial Ace and left us on red HP, but Silly Car managed to pull through with what had to be a high roll, taking out Honchkrow and finally winning us this fight. That was brutal, and the next fight might be even worse. I didn't realize at first, but Houndoom having Early Bird can make this fight incredibly difficult. Early Bird halves the amount of turns a Pokemon is asleep while presetting the number of sleep turns a Pokemon gets, meaning Houndoom is very likely to get either an instant wake up or a regular turn 1 wake up. Add on to that the fact that we have to fight the same Honchkrow again, as well as 2 Pokemon who potentially outspeeds us, and level 100 might not even be enough. We start the fight, and after a few attempts where we just get bad luck, we get a run where Houndoom stays asleep for 1 turn, letting us hit a Leech Seed. We get lucky enough that not only does our next Sleep Powder hit, but he stays asleep long enough for Aerial Ace to pick up the KO. Next is Weavile, who we managed to outspeed and put to sleep. Giga Drain almost one-shots him with a crit, and his Citrus Berry got him out of potion range, letting us take him out with a second Giga Drain to go back to full. Crobat after outspeeds us, but it stays asleep long enough for us to heal back some of the damage we took from Cross Poison. Next is Honchkrow though, and it just nails us with a Drill Peck. It takes over half from Aerial Ace though, which is promising. Alright, I'll stop beating around the bush and use the rare candies I've been collecting to get up to level 100. That should have few crucial damage ranges and give us a little extra bulk, as well as potentially letting us outspeed Crobat. At level 100, we 2-shot Houndoom as it just misses a Will-O-Wisp and heals. It would have been scary, but we have a Lumberry for this and Crobat anyway. Weavile could have gone very poorly, but despite my choking and thinking it'd heal, Weavile just kept snoozing, letting me get back up to half health after it ice punched me down to only 10 HP. Crobat is next, who we now outspeed and hit with a Leech Seed to heal enough for Honchkrow. We get lucky enough that it stays asleep, letting us take it out with Aerial Ace as we chip heal, and out is the dastardly Honchkrow. Before, we couldn't two-shot this because of its Citrus Berry, but now that we're able to live Drill Peck on right HP, we make quick work of it and move on to Gyarados. We put it to sleep and Leech Seed it, but it's already up to 2 sleep turns. I hit a Giga Drain, but it doesn't heal us enough to live a big attack. I hold my breath, but Gyarados stays asleep for one more turn, letting me hit one more Giga Drain to take it out, winning my most dreaded fight so far. That was an intense and honestly really lucky fight. We don't have that much left before the league, just a few fights in Victory Road that we can't avoid. Oh yeah, and Volkner, but he shouldn't be too much of an issue. He might take a couple tries due to bad luck, but our next tough fight is probably going to be Flint. I think he has his own early bird Houndoom, and one that's an even higher level than Cyrus's. As I expected, Volkner was pretty easy. Most of his Pokemon get 2-shot, and I use Sleep Powder because Luxray and Electivire have moves that are super effective on us. With that, we're off to the Pokemon League, and I'm confident in most of the fights here. While we're neutral or weak to some of Aaron's Pokemon, Yanmega probably just gets 2-shot with good Sleep luck. Scizor gets worn down and can't hit us too hard, Heracross is a non-factor, Vespiquen could take luck but shouldn't be hard, and Drapions probably going to be the hardest. But we shouldn't lose if we get to it with enough health unless we get insanely lucky. Bertha's only problematic Pokemon are Gliscor with Ice Fang and Hippowdon with Stone Edge, and neither of those could outspeed or 2-shot us. Everything else is quad weak to grass. Lucian is doable with good sleep luck, same as any other fight, but Flint's another story. With an actual full fire-type team in this game, including a lead early burn Houndoom, he has the potential to be a run-ender. I won't talk about Cynthia until we get there, but she's likely to be pretty difficult due to a few factors. We make it to the Pokemon League, and it's time to do the final berry fight. Staraptor is out first, our attack is down the entire fight. I Sleep Seed it, then Aerial Ace it for a disappointing amount of damage. It wakes up and does a little less than half with its own Aerial Ace, but the next Aerial Ace leaves it on a sliver as it damages us too much. I use this opportunity to see how much we're doing to Infernape, but we can't quite OHKO it yet, if only Staraptor wasn't his first Pokemon. On the next attempt, Staraptor just stays asleep and goes down. We miss our next Sleep Powder on Infernape, letting it take out half our health with Flamethrower, but we Sleep Seed it right after to heal a bit. It luckily stays asleep long enough for us to take it out with a couple Aerial Aces, and Roserade, Heracross, and Floatzel after are all one-shots. Floatzel lets us heal back to full with a Giga Drain. Finally, Snorlax just stays asleep, true to his character, and I just take it out for the win. Well, that fight went pretty well, and I'm confident enough for the league. Here are our stats going in. Most of our stats are having around the 100 mark, which is egregious, but high special defense and a great speed stat might make Flint doable, especially considering the fact that he can set up Sun. Our attacks aren't going to be doing much, but we're still using the moveset we've been using for the last half the run, which should be good enough. Leave your final guesses on whether or not we're going to be able to win down in the comments, and let's do this. First is Bug Trainer Aaron. He leads off with a speed boost Yanmega that gets a turn 1 wake up, but only uses Double Team as we nail it with a sure hit Aerial Ace. It gets him down into the red and he heals, but he just switches after using his 1 full restore. I get lucky and Leech Seed Vespiquen on the switch, missing a Sleep Powder as it uses Defend Order. Our next one hits, and it stays asleep as we wear it down. Drapion's out next, and we Sleep Seed it and start wearing it down. It wakes up once, hitting us with an Ice Fang for over half her health, but we manage to take it out. Yanmega comes back out and just gets taken out, and Heracross after is a one-shot. Scizor is last, and it just gets Sleep Seeded down, winning us a pretty easy first fight. Ground Trainer Bertha is up next, and her lead Whiscash is an OHKO. Gliscor gets Sleep Seeded, only waking up once to do exactly the same amount with an Ice Fang as Aaron's Drapion did. Golem and Rhyperior just get one shot as well, and Hippowdon gets crit for one last OHKO after getting put to sleep. The next fight versus Fire Trainer Flynn won't be as easy though. Houndoom doesn't instantly wake up, letting us take out half its health with Aerial Ace, but it nails us for the same with a Flamethrower the same turn. We take it out, but we're in bad shape going into Flareon. We manage to Sleep Seed it down, and we do the same to Rapidash before Magmortar comes out. We take it out, but we're in bad shape going into Flareon. We manage to Sleep Seed it down, and we do the same to Rapidash before Magmortar comes out. We miss our first Sleep Powder, meaning we get hit by a huge Flamethrower that brings us to about 25%. We put it to sleep and use Giga Drain to avoid Flame Body, but it's too little too late as our luck runs out, and Magmortar wakes up and takes us out. I think we'll just need good luck for this one, honestly. Eventually we get this run, where Magmortar can't outdamage us, and we get lucky enough with every other Pokemon to win. Infernape actually tanks one Aerial Ace, but with good Sleep Luck it's not an issue, letting us move on. Finally, we have Psychic Trainer Lucian. His lead Mr. Mime only takes a third from Giga Drain, but its much lower physical bulk betrays it as a non-crit Aerial Ace is able to take out its remaining health. Gallade looked like an OHKO, but it lived on a sliver and fired back with a nasty Stone Edge. Its Citrus Berry got it out of full restore range, letting us take it out, but we're in rough shape as Espeon comes out. We manage to put it to sleep, and we wear it down with Leech Seed and Giga Drain before it can wake up. We're in good shape going into Bronzong, who can't really hurt us in a war of attrition. A couple of lucky crits speed up the fight, and last is Alakazam, who gets 2-shot by Aerial Ace after getting put to sleep. Last is the champion Cynthia, whose high-leveled Pokemon could pose a big threat. First up is Spiritomb, a fight we need to win quickly because of pressure. We're lucky enough to Sleep Seed it down before it can wake up, letting us go into Togekiss with full health. It stays asleep long enough for us to wear it down, and then I can Sleep Powder as she uses a full restore to run it all the way back, taking out 2 Pokemon without a scratch on us. We make it 3 as Roserade is the last OHKO of the run, and Lucario comes out next. We manage to Sleep Seed it and into 2-shot after, continuing the good luck train as Milotic comes out. It also succumbs to the Sleep Seed combo, which is great since Ice Beam totally would have chunked us, but as her deadly Garchomp comes out, our luck falters and we miss our first Sleep Powder of the fight, taking our first hit of the fight as a nasty Dragon Rush comes out and takes out half our health. 1 crit from that and we're done, so I make sure to Sleep Seed Garchomp immediately. I'm able to get off 1 Giga Drain before it wakes up, but it misses a Dragon Rush that could have spelled the end for us if it landed a crit. After that, we're able to put it to sleep, wearing it down and finally finishing this run. Man, what a challenge! It really ramped up at the end since we couldn't just brute force our way past many of the latter Pokemon, even the ones we could hit super effectively like Infernape and Gallade. In the end though, Sleep is an incredibly overpowered mechanic that we were able to abuse to get a Hoppip of all Pokemon into the Hall of Fame. This run really was a doozy, and I don't actually know where to go next. I'm thinking maybe a team run in Unova, but I don't know exactly what to do. Leave some comments below with suggestions. I'm focusing a lot on Smash content right now, so it might be a bit before the next Pokemon challenge, but they'll be back as always, no matter how long it takes. That's about all I got for you now though, so until next time, this is Shootkapow, over and out. Well, that's technically better than Pomni. I might need to make a blooper reel just because of that one. I'm gonna record that one because there's a car going past. I'm recording in my car, by the way, on the side of the road. This is definitely having a blooper reel at the end. I name it Silly Car because Hoppip is the silliest car of them all. Dude, shut the f up. Well, our next stop is Orkburg, or Roark. Luckily, we're able to heal to a safe enough amount of health that we can put Skuntank to sleep once again. Oh my f***ing god! We have some new issues. Is that an airplane? Are you kidding me? What even is that? Dude! Oh my god. I need y'all to understand that it is 11:30 at night right now. And like, I recorded later too. I recorded at like 12:01. Like, I recorded super late. And like, this road is so active, dude. Like, I hate college towns. Anyway, where was I? It feels like I'm playing FNAF because I'm having to record the script and also watch out for cars because I'm parked right next to an intersection, so it's crazy. That's the intro of the video and there's cars going past. Ugh. Intro, outro. I'm silly.